my fellow readers, this is Dirk Symphony 777, and I am back with part 2 of my trilogy of top 10 fanfictions. This time we're doing short stories, so I'm not going to go into any. So again, the only criteria is the story I must like the story. That's it. So let's get started with number 10, Abandoned by Disney. This is a very famous creepypasta. I love the ambience, the creepiness of the fact of everything, the whole build up to, the character seeing all these abandoned by Disney, stuff like that. And the end with the decrepit Mickey person slowly ripping off his head and all that pus, and he sees abandoned by Disney, abandoned by God. It was just had a very, very cool undertone. I really love the story. I actually can't wait to do another creepypasta-esque one. Maybe I might do Jeff the Killer. Who knows? Me? I don't know. Who knows? I just know, I'm probably gonna do another creepypasta around Halloween. So let's keep going. Number 9 is The Restless Corpse of Sunset Shimmer by My Little Pony. Written by Board Game Brony. I really like the story. Again, similar to Abandoned by Disney, it's more settled around the idea of ambiance with Sunset being a wraith, with the unknown, why did she die? There was so many questions behind the story that it really helped the story out with its ambiance, with the main character getting a little help from Twilight Sparkle, with Sunset kind of being actually apologizing for everything. And wondering, and the whole idea of did it actually happen and stuff like that. At the end with the little girl grabbing the journal and stuff like that. It really brought the entire story together in a very sort of moody / tense situation. Number 8 is The Ghost of Marianne over on fictionpress.com by Spaced Out Ghost. This is another spooky one. I really like the whole, again, this is another idea that relies on ambiance to tell the story, especially the whole twist with there's an evil thing, and then there's a little ghost, the girl, the ghost of the relative actually going to help out and stuff like that. Again, this was one of those stories I can't really describe because I think this is one of those stories that you need to see for yourself. Overall, I do think it's another story. I like the sequel hook at the end where they agree to become a little a team up duo to help other ghosts out. That was a little nice detail. Number 7, written on the 10 by Starving Lunatic. This is a Kim Possible fanfiction to celebrate Starving Lunatic's 10th anniversary on the site. It's pretty much just one big date between Kim Possible and Shigo. Starving Lunatic was a well-known Kigo writer, so there's that. Overall, this is just basically one long date of Kigo, basically just Kim and Shigo just dating. That's really all that needs to be said about that story. It's just a very touching romantic story that doesn't really do anything outstanding, but it does things well enough that it finds itself on number 7. Number 6, Hungry Hungry Healer by Thomas the Betrayer. This is a Last Story fanfiction. Honestly, the story was hilarious. For those who don't know, Last Story was a game written by the original director of Final Fantasy and made on the Wii. The game was actually pretty fun. And the story tells the story is of one of the members of the crew, Marania, joining the rest of the cast and her eating habits. It's overall a little cute story. It's more slice of life with hints of comedy in it, especially with the whole idea of the crew asking one of the characters we only have one question for you. So what's that? And they drop a big thing of menaces can you eat that? I don't think I can in one sitting. Good, you're on the team. Because Marania just eats everything. I thought it was a very quirky story. Everyone's reaction to Marania's eating habits was hilarious. Especially the whole idea near the end where people thought Marania wasn't above cannibalism. I thought that was conveyed beautifully, and it was actually pretty funny. But overall, it earns the number 6 spot. Number 5, Xena and the Lost Ship by Phineas Redux. This is a Xena warrior princess story. Fun fact: I am a big Xena fan. If I had the chance, I would actually buy the entire Xena collection. my ex, the only thing I have of my ex is actually a box set of Xena DVDs because she knows I was a big fan of Xena. So basically the plot is Xena's rowing on a ship and she come across the Marie Celeste, which is a famous ghost ship that basically all the crew, that people found years later, and all the crew went mysteriously missing. That's pretty much this story. And so Xena just travels onto the Marie Celeste, talks to the other crewmates. They all thought they were like dressing up like for a play and stuff like that. And it was a really weird mystery story with like a really, really dark undertone, because if you know what happened to the Marie Celeste, then the story takes on a brand new dimension of Xena talking to the captain and the crew, and with everything going on, it brings a simultaneously dark but somber tone to the story that was really, really well done beautifully. And it's very deserving of the number 5 spot. Number 4, Five Nights at Freddy's, A Legacy Laid to Rest by Arch Commander Tenebros. This is a Five Nights at Freddy's story, because it's in the name. Wow. And this story takes place immediately after the events of Five Nights at Freddy's. What's the name of the game? What's the name of the canonically the last game? The Pizzeria Simulator. The simulator one, where everyone dies. That's the one. And the story takes place after the events, and people find, the puppet, wanting, going to say one final farewell. And then the puppet finds out there's like all these other characters, which is a nod to all of the fan-made animatronics that people have made, because ever since Five Nights at Freddy's became big, and I mean big as in big, like Lumpty, and like the cat animatronic, and like all of them, all of them becoming big. And so the story ends like a really, really well done sequel hook with the puppet promising to go after those fan-made animatronics to let them be free. I thought that's a really cool idea. I'm not sure if the author expanded on that idea. It was a great sequel hook, but that's really it. It was just one big long conversation with some of the characters and the puppet before the puppet leaves to help out the deal with the other animatronics, the fan-made ones, and I thought that was really well done. It comes in at number 4. Number 3, Whiteout by Dobermans. This is actually notable as the first story I actually did a 2-part review on. First one being the actual story, and the other one talking about the background behind it. Now, I wanted to do something creative with that story because I think there was a lot to talk about. The whole mystery of what Celestial was doing with Featherweight, with everything. Everything was worded really, really cryptically. So it's really one of those stories where... Oh, it's raining. It's one of those stories where everyone kind of plays a part, but you have to figure out what's being read between the lines. It's a very mysterious story, and really, really ties together with everything, especially when I did part 2 and I kind of dissected what was going on. And even Dobermans flat out said that I actually came literally the closest of anyone who's ever actually guessed it, and he actually congratulated me on that. And I thought, hey, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I took that as a victory for me. So let's edit, and Whiteout comes in number 3. Number 2, After the Baptism by Straitjacket. This is a BioShock Infinite story. And this one tells the story after the events of the ending of BioShock Infinite, where Elizabeth talks to the Latwise twins and tries to figure out everything. Oh, sorry about it. I just had a burp. And Elizabeth talking with the Latwise twins over everything that's going on, and there's a sense of drama going on. It's a neat little story. Overall, it's a really well done story. The conversation between Elizabeth and the Latwises was immaculate, and it really brought more into the whole idea behind everything going on with BioShock, because BioShock Infinite was a weird game. Especially considering like BioShock 1 and 2 were like very much masterpieces, and nobody knew what to make of Infinite because the whole idea of like time travel and dimension hopping and everything, it was really a sharp left turn that nobody expected, and it's like, what? And stuff like that. Overall, I thought the story was strong enough to bring it to rank number 2. But there's only one story that brings into number 1, and that is Call of the Dullahan by Hyrule. It is a Monster Musume fanfiction. Yes! Daily Life of Monster Girls comes in number 1. Oh, but it's like, there's no soup. There's Lala. So anyway, this story takes place an unknown amount of time after something, and the main human, Kimihito, is talking with Lala, and Lala's basically just saying goodbye to him. It has a very sense of mystery to it because we don't know how he died, we don't know when he died, and it's pretty much just another story that's just basically one long conversation. But those words and everything, and all the words that were said between with the dialogue and the prose, carried so much weight that it made everything really tragic. Because it kind of tells that they kind of cared about each other, and Lala really doesn't want to let go, but knows that she has no choice but to. She has to fulfill her promise as a Dullahan and basically just end it and send them to the afterlife. And it really gave an overall sense of tragedy to the whole thing. It was very sad, it was very moody, but it was very well done. I think there's really no chance anything outside of After the Baptism really had a chance of beating this story. Like, After the Baptism I was kind of flip-flopping between the two. They were both really good. I decided to give Call of Dullahan the edge, mainly because it was just better at conveying, of using its words to the most maximum potential it can, while After the Baptism, the story dragged on a little too long. But that's fine. But it was still very good. So that is my top 10 short stories in fan fiction. I know these stories are not supposed to be long. I'm trying to breeze through them and stuff like that. So, understand where I'm going with. So this has been Dark Symphony 777, and